Dear students, today we are going to learn a very beautiful poem by Caroline Wales, and the poem's name is How to Tell Wild Animals. Tell means identify. Tell means not to talk. How to identify, how to recognize wild animals. Caroline Wales is a prolific and prominent American writer and poet of the 20th century. Born on 18 June 1862 in New Jersey, United States. Died on 26 March 1942. In New York. USA. She is remembered largely for her popular children's book and humorous verse. What do you mean by humorous verse? Verse means poem. Poem which makes us laugh is called humorous verse. In this poem, she has explained many characteristics of wild animals. Her nature is humorous, and in her poem we find many humorous examples to identify wild and dangerous animals. Her present poem is full of humorous examples when Caroline Wales tries to differentiate one wild animal from others. And she explains everything in a funny way. She suggests some dangerous and risky ways to identify these types of animals. Here in the first stanza, the poetess says that if ever means at any time, if any time you should go by chance you are going to jungles. Jungle is a Hindi word, but it is accepted in English. If at any time you get chance to go jungles in the eastern part of the earth. Where you are going? To the eastern part of the earth. By chance you are going towards jungles. And if there should to you advance a large and tawny beast Tawny means brownish yellow. Not completely yellow, brownish yellow. And if on the way when you are going towards its direction in the jungle, and you see there a very large and tawny beast. Beast means animal of brownish yellow color. Then at once you recognize that this is the lion. But don't be in a hurry. And the poetess Karen Wales gives some humorous tips how to identify wild animals. This time she gives funny tips that you have to wait and watch. You have not to be in a hurry to identify this wild animal. You should wait and watch. You should wait if he is roaring at you or not. If he roars to look at you and you feel that you are dying at his roaring, at the roaring of the lion, you feel that you are dying, then you will know that it is the Asian lion. Only then you will learn that it is the Asian lion. So don't be in a hurry. First wait and watch. It may look to you that this is the Asian lion, but wait and watch if he roars at you or not. And if he roars and you feel that you are dying, only then you should be sure that it is the Asian lion. This is how the poetess gives some dangerous and risky ways to identify wild animals. So the poem is humorous as well as educative also, because the poetess gives some tips to identify. She gives some features, characteristics of wild animals. Here see first poetic device. Number 1, rhyme scheme. We have already discussed that the sameness of sound at the end of lines in a word of rhyme is called rhyme scheme. So musical similarity, chance. This gives the sound, first sound, it will be named as A. East, different sound, B. Chance rhymes with advance, same sound, A. East rhymes with beast. What is the sound of east? B. So the sound of beast will be also B. Dine, actually the word is dying, but only to maintain the rhyming effect with the lion, G is omitted here. Which letter is omitted? G letter is omitted. Why? Only to maintain rhyme and rhythm with the word lion. Dine with lion. Actually the word is dying, but the poet has the freedom to change the spelling. Why? Because he or she has to maintain rhyme scheme. So this is called what? A poetic license. Rhyme scheme, you have seen here different sounds, C and C. Rhyme scheme, A, B, C, C. Okay, clear it is. Actual word is dying, but only to maintain rhyme scheme, rhyming and rhythm with the lion. You have well understood. Second poetic device, enjambment. We have discussed in many poems that if any sentence continues to the next line without any punctuation mark, here it is the punctuation mark, but here not the punctuation mark, so the same line continues, same sentence continues to the next line, so this is enjambment. Understand? No any punctuation mark. This sentence or line continues to the next line. This is called what? Enjambment. We have many times discussed. Here also you find enjambment, advance, no punctuation mark, continues up to here. Here punctuation mark, so this is the enjambment. Once again here also, Diane, no punctuation mark, continues to the next line, lion. So now see the third poetic device, inversion. Reverse in sequence of words. Reverse, just opposite. We know that for a sentence, what is essential? Subject, then verb, then object. You well know. You are a student of class 10, first subject, then verb, then object. If this order is changed, first comes what? Object, then subject, then verb. Okay, reverse in the sequence. Change in order of words. Change in order. See here, what is change? Yes. And if there should to you, first verb is used here. Verb. Subject is this, a large and tawny beast. This should come first, but it has come at last. So we can use it in the poem. The poet or poetess can use this type of words or phrases in a poem. This should come first. Subject is this, a large and tawny beast should advance to you. This is the correct order of words. Understand or not? Subject is here. A large and tawny beast, subject, should verb, modal verb, then main verb, should advance to you. But this is just a reverse in sequence of words, change of order. So this type of use is called inversion. Now we see assonance. We have discussed many times prominence of vowel sound. In a line, prominence of vowel sound. Okay, you, o, should, go. Here, which letter is prominent? O vowel letter is prominent. This is called what? Assonance. And The last poetry device is a poetic license. Poetic freedom. What is the poetic freedom? To change the letter in a word. Here, actual word is G, that is omitted or deleted only to maintain rhyme and rhythm. So this is called poetic license. So first exercise is clear. Once again I am explaining, if at any time you should go by chance to jungles in the east direction, and if there were in the east direction a large and brownish yellow wild animal advances towards you, then at once you feel that this is the Asian lion, but don't be so sure. Here the poetess gives you one funny trick or tips, that he is roaring to look at you or not. If he roars to look at you and you feel that you are dying, only then you should be sure that it is the Asian lion. Now, second stanza. So this is how we identify, this is how we tell wild animals. Tell means identify. Now, how to identify the Bengal tiger? Or if sometime, or if any time when roaming round, roaming means walking aimlessly. Without any aim. If you are going towards a school, then you have the aim that I have to reach school on time. Without any aim. He is roaring. If you are roaming, walking aimlessly, and then a novel, a very grand, magnificent, majestic animal, you recall, I have taught you one majestic animal. What? In the poem, a tiger in the zoo, majestic, royal, a noble, royal, wild beast. Beast means animal, greets you. You are roaming, you are walking aimlessly, and on your way, a noble, a royal, majestic, wild animal welcomes you, and he has the black stripes, he has the black bands on a yellow ground. Ground means background, on the yellow background of the skin. On the yellow background of the skin, he has the black stripes, he has the black bands, and it adds beauty to his look. And that noble wild beast greets you, welcomes you on the way. Then you feel, oh no, it is the tiger, but don't be so sure. Don't be in a hurry. You have to wait and watch. What you have to wait? Just notice. You come closer and closer to him. To whom? That to noble wild beast, if he tries to eat you or not. So this is how the poetess gives some funny tips to identify wild animals. Just notice if he, that noble wild beast, tries to eat you or not. If he tries to eat you, then be so sure that this is the what? Bengal tiger. Very simple rule. To identify or recognize the Bengal tiger, there is no any hard and fast rule. Very simple rule. You come closer and closer to wild animal, to that tiger, and if he tries to catch you, if he tries to eat you, then be so sure that yes, this is the Bengal tiger. Simple rule. may help you learn the Bengal tiger to discern. Discern means identify. Now see the poetic device in second stanza. First rhyme scheme. What same rhyme scheme? First sound a, you different sound, ground, round rhymes with ground, same a, you, same with you, be, learn different sound, and discern different sound. Discern, I have written the meaning, identify. What is discern? Round rhymes with ground, you rhymes with you, be, and learn rhymes with discern. This is the poetry device in the second stanza. And second is alliteration. Many times we have discussed what is alliteration, the repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of words. The repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of words is called what? Alliteration. What is here? Alliteration. Alliteration, repetition of, yes, consonant sound. Repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of words is called alliteration. And now, once again, inversion. What is inversion? Change of order, reverse in sequence of words. Reverse in sequence of words. Simple rule may help you to discern the Bengal tiger. This should be order. This simple rule, subject, may helping verb, modal verb, help main verb, may help you to discern the Bengal tiger. So here change of words in the line. This is called what? Inversion. Here also you have found inversion. Then we find here allusion. What is allusion? A reference to a very famous place or person. Very famous place or person or thing. Famous place, Bengal. So this is called allusion. A reference to famous place or thing or animal to which this tiger belong to Bengal. Reference. This is called allusion. And next poetic device is assonance. Assonance, where we find assonance. Assonance, yes, prominence of vowel sound throughout the line. O, O, O. Prominence of vowel sound. This is called assonance. Now, let's see the third stanza. The poetess gives here some tips to identify the Asian lion, But that is the risky and dangerous way, dangerous tip. And in the second stanza, we come to know how to recognize, how to discern Bengal tiger. And in the third stanza, we find how to find out the leopard. Very risky way, very dangerous ways. If strolling forth, walking leisurely, you are very leisurely, very casually, without any aim. You are going here and there, casually, strolling forth. A beast you view, you are walking leisurely, you are walking casually, not seriously, casually. A beast, an animal you view. View means you see. When you are walking aimlessly, casually, not seriously, an animal you see, and whose hide means skin. Whose skin with spots is peppered. Here also we found what? Inversion. Whose hide is peppered. See here. Whose hide is peppered with spots. Change of order in the words. This is called what? Inversion. Whose skin? An animal's skin that you view, that you see, and his hide, his skin is covered with spots, and you feel that no, this is a leopard, because many times you have seen in the picture that on the skin of the leopard there are spots. So you feel that I have seen which animal? I have seen leopard. But don't be so sure. Here the poet gives him a risky tip. No, don't be so sure. Wait and watch. As soon as he has left on you, wait and watch. He tries to leap on you or not. Why this animal is called leopard? The characteristic of this animal is that he leaps again and again. Leaps means jumps. He jumps on any person or on any victim or on his prey till his life is finished. That animal, leopard, jumps on any person or any victim or any prey until his life is finished. That is why he is called leopard, because this animal leaps. This animal leaps. So you have to wait and watch. He is trying to leap on or you not. Actual word is leap. Actual word is leap. And V2 is leaped. But only to maintain musical effect. Here we find that a letter is omitted. Okay, a letter is omitted. Only to maintain musical effect and poetic effect, because the pronunciation of the animal is leopard. So this should be leapt. If here we find a, then it will be leap. It will be leap and it will be leaped. But here we have to maintain poetic and musical effect with the word leopard. Leopard. So a is missing here. Lapped and leopard. Only to maintain rhyming and musical effect, the poet has deleted this letter A. Okay. So this is called poetic license. The poet has the freedom to change any letter, and it doesn't make any big difference. The meaning is clear to you. But here we find what? Musical and poetic effect. Let's wait and watch. He is leaping on or you not, because this is the characteristic of the animal leopard, that if any leopard sees a person, he tries to leap on that person until his life is finished. You will know it is the leopard. If he tries to leap on you, then you will be sure, no, it is certainly the leopard. Leopard is very dangerous and ferocious animal. And if he leaps on you, if he jumps on you, you have to be closer and closer to that animal. Only then he will leap on you. And when he will leap on you, then it will be no good. It will be no use to roar with pain. If that animal leaps on your body, you will cry, you will roar with pain, but there is no use of crying anymore. No any person will come to save you. He will only leap and leap again. Actual word is what? Leap. But to maintain poetic effect, this A word is deleted. Lap and lap. Actually, word is leap and leap. So there will be no any poetic effect, musical effect. Leap, leap, leaped, and leopard. Now it is clear. Lap, lap, lapped, leopard. Okay. So this has the freedom of the poet, that he can change or she can change any letter to maintain what? Musical and poetic effect in the words of a line. It will no good, it will no use to roar with pain, cry with pain. He will only lap and lap again until your life is finished. So there is some risk to come closer and closer to the leopard, but at the time of death you will know, no, this is the leopard. Yes, what will happen? My life is finished, but I am sure that I have seen this animal who was leopard. I have seen the Bengal tiger. I have seen the Asian lion, and I know characteristics of these wild animals. No matter that your life is finished, but you come to know even at the death time that these are the characteristics of wild animals. Now let's see the poetry device in the third stanza. First, rhyme scheme. Same, view first sound, musical sound, different sound B, view view use, rhymes with you, same sound. Peppered, leopard, same sound B, pen, different sound, again different sound. A B, C. Now see another poetry device. Yes, alliteration. Alliteration. What alliteration? The repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of words. Very clear. Now let's see the third poetry device. Assonance. Strolling forth. Prominence of vowel letter O. Vowel letter O in the line. U. Okay. So this is called what? Assonance. Is it clear to you or not? Assonance. The prominence of any vowel letter with the consonant letter throughout the line. Here what is the prominence? O, O, O. Now let's see the fourth poetic device. Consonance. There may be some confusion in consonance and alliteration. What is alliteration? The repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of words. Alliteration, the repetition of consonant sound where at the beginning of words. But consonants is repetition of consonant words, consonant sound sometimes at the beginning or sometimes at the end. Alliteration, repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of words. And consonant, sometimes repetition at the beginning or sometimes at the end of words. See here. As at the end of word, soon at the beginning of word. Understand? Alliteration, repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of word, but consonant sometimes at the end or sometimes at the beginning of words. This is consonants. Now, repetition. We have discussed many times, any word which is repeated two or more than two times to emphasize any idea, to emphasize any point, lap and lap. Lap and lap. So these two words are repeated. Why? Only to emphasize any point or idea that the leopard will leap on you until your life is finished. So this is the repetition. And here we find poetic license also. What is poetic license? To change the word, to change any letter, to delete any letter, to maintain poetic and musical effect in the words. In which words? You see here, left, leopard, lap, actual word is leap, A is missing, then pronunciation lap, A is missing, pronunciation is lap, 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 leopard, lapped. If here we write A, then leaped. So this is the poetic license. This is how we have completed 3 stanzas, and in the next class we shall finish the left 3 more stanzas, and the central idea of this poem is that this is humorous as well educative, because it is full of some humorous examples to identify many types of wild animals. There are some risks, there are some dangerous tips, but we come to know even at the daytime, oh, these are the certain characteristics or features of wild animals. So homework. Homework, you will write how we come to know about the Asian lion. Next, how we come to know about the Bengal tiger. Okay. Third, how we come to know about the leopard. Till then, you will study 3 more left stanzas and we shall discuss in the next one. Okay, thank you.